Hello and welcome to the live stream. Whether you are joining us live now, thanks for being here, and or whether you're catching us on the replay. So in today's video, I am going to be covering how do you use Facebook Live Producer. So how do you live stream using Facebook's own software without any third-party software. So I'm going to do a tutorial to step you through how to use it. It's not intuitive, and I have to make a disclaimer that it's not perfect. I'm getting a message that the Facebook feed is being a bit weird, but I'm going to keep rolling anyway. We're just going to keep rolling. I'm just going to keep rolling, Mediana. Okay, so disclaimer, Facebook Live can be a little bit on the glitchy side with live streams in general and with their software. If you are looking to live stream using, your desktop, if you want to use a camera and have overlays and things like that, Facebook Live Producer probably isn't the best one to use because you're a bit limited in terms of the things you can actually do. But if you're in a pinch and you want to just get started and you want to try it out, that's what this tutorial will be all about. So I do have to make the disclaimer that it doesn't have all of the functionality that third-party software such as StreamYard, such as Ecamm Live, such as BeLive has, or even Restream has. I've got a link in the description to all of the tutorials where I go through those third-party software options, and I love them. I don't love Facebook Live Producer. I just find it really glitchy, but I am going to show you how to use it. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let's start with where on earth do you even access Facebook Live from your computer? Now, this is a Facebook page, and I go through the difference between a Facebook page and a Facebook profile in another video. We're not going to go through that in this tutorial, but you need to access it from your Facebook page. Now, where is it? It is in the right side here where it says create, and you'll see where my pink icon is, this live icon. If you don't see it, update your browser and try to use Chrome because I find it a bit glitchy using the other software. So that's where it is if you want to access it from your page. Alternatively, you can access it by going directly to facebook.com/live/producer at any time, right? So if you, for whatever reason, can't get to the page and you can memorize that URL, that's how you get to the Facebook Live Producer. Now, we're going to go from the page, so we've gone into our Facebook page, we're going to create this section here, create, and then we're going to select live, right? So we click on that, and this opens up Facebook Live Producer, and I'm going to walk you through how to use it. Now, it's not intuitive. We understand that Facebook doesn't make things easy for us, so I'm just going to walk you through how to use it. Now, one of the cool things that you can do, particularly if you're just getting started and you're a little bit nervous and you want to practice things. I love practicing live streams before I go live. It makes me feel more confident when I actually am live. Is you can do a test broadcast, right? And what that means is that you can push all the buttons, go live, have your camera work, or test that your camera works, but no one will see it. But it's live, but no one will see it but you. That's really good. So to access that, it's in this sidebar section here on the left-hand side. If you scroll to the bottom, you'll see publish as test broadcast. So you want to select that checkbox and things are happening. After you do that, Facebook will set it up so that you can broadcast and push all the buttons, and then no one has to see it but you, right? So we push that button, and I'm going to actually go through a test so you can actually see what it's like. And then on the right hand side, this is a whole lot of confusion. So let's break it down a little bit. So there's this section here that says new, exclamation mark, live tab on pages. So this is the URL that you can give people so they can always find your live videos, right? You know those people who you're like, I'm going live now, check it out on my page, and they're like, where's your page? And you're like, oh, here's the link to my page. And they're like, where's the video? Give them this link. Right? This link will have all of the live videos in one place. So you can just give them that link so you can copy it and you can send it. This doesn't have anything to do with your actual broadcast, but it's the link so that your viewers, the end people who are watching it, can see it. Now, this get started section, I'm not going to go through using stream keys because I hate that. I don't think that's easy to use. And this is more of a beginner tutorial anyway. So we're going to forget about using stream keys. We're going to select use camera. Right, and this will then pick up a camera source. Hello, that's me. It's picking up my iMac camera, but okay, that's fine. If you select use camera, you can then scroll down to setup. See where it says setup here. And then next to this camera icon, you'll be able to choose the actual camera. If you have like an inbuilt camera and then you've got an external camera, whether it's a webcam or a DSLR, you can then choose that source. So there you go, that's choosing the correct camera now to show. Same with the microphone. See where it says setup? There's this microphone icon as well. You can choose, see it's by default selecting the internal camera. I can then choose whichever microphone source that I want by selecting that drop down. Next to it, you'll see as I'm talking, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can. As I'm talking, you'll see that it jumps a little bit. So that's kind of like a really tiny sound, the sound traveling type of thing. I can't even describe it. I have no words right now, but that lets you know that, sounds kind of coming through. As I said, Facebook's not the most intuitive thing, but we're going to show you how to use it anyway. So that's how you kind of get started. Now you may see this screen share option here. Here's the thing with this screen share thing. Since this year, I have never been able to get it to work properly. I don't know if it's me. It probably is not because Facebook's so glitchy. I've heard other people have issues with it as well. But in terms of live streaming using Facebook's Live Producer, I have found that you cannot switch between your camera and your screen share. You have to start with one or the other. You can't switch between both, which is kind of really weird and defeats the whole purpose of a live stream, Facebook, but that's okay. So if you want to have a whole live stream where you're just screen sharing, know that you can't add your camera feed into it as well. This little thing here, you may be saying, but Sarah, I can see you in the corner. This is the preview of your live stream, right? So it's really weird. I know it's just a Facebook. It's kind of like they put all of their developers into the Facebook ads, and then they put like no one on Facebook Live, but then they had to put something together, and this is what we have, this mess. But I'm trying to walk you through it now. Okay, I digress. So I've never found screen share to work. But you have to choose one or the other. So if you wanted to screen share, you can select screen share and it will ask you which screen, if you have multiple monitors that you want to use. Alternatively, you can choose application window or a tab. So that's how you can, live stream using your camera or you screen share. Now, that's kind of the key things. Now, once you're kind of happy with that, there's a lot more that you can do. Well, not a lot more. There's a little bit more that you can do. Back to the left-hand side now. With your live streams and setting it up, you'll see that this is the page and there's this section here to add a title. So this goes at the top of your actual live stream. So this is where you have a hook or you talk about what the live stream will be about. So I could be, I'll add something here so you can see it work in action, a demo about Facebook Live Producer. And then where it says, say something about this live video, that appears in the description section of the post. So that's where you would add your links. That's where you would add any extra information. Sometimes I add a summary with the timestamps. That's where that all happens. Ignore audience settings. I'm not going to go through share to pages groups because I haven't set that up. There's gaming settings, but I'm not going to go through that either. As I said, there's a lot of clutter with Facebook Live. Okay, so now that we've got that set up, if I scroll to the top of Facebook Live Producer, it shows me my actual feed. So hello. And once you have that set up, you see that you kind of toggle between seeing your feed and then the settings. And once, like, see how I've got it all there, and if I scroll, then I get the little preview here. That's what it actually is. It's really weird. I don't know why they do that. It's so odd. But down here is where there are a couple more options, so we're not leaving just yet. They've got stream setup, which is what we've been doing. They've got stream health, and once you go live, you'll see like a graph chart to show you that, you know, the actual live stream is going through. Then you've got polls. Polls I found really weird as well, but polls you can actually add a question. So you can do something like, or ask a question, give them options, and then save it. And then once you go on the live stream, you can actually add it to the live stream. So that's adding a poll in this section here. Questions, you can add a question as well. Like, I find these features not as interactive as Facebook pretends that they are. So let's add a question. How are you today? So type the question, select save. Okay. Featured link. This was a really weird one. So they're like, hey, add a link here, and I never found it worked. But if you want to use it, it's here. So you can add like the whole link here, ABC, and save it. All right. So we've gone ahead and we've set up everything. We've gone to stream setup. We've set up the camera feed. We've selected the microphone. We went to polls and we created a poll. You can see on the right hand side, this is the one that I set up. We set up a question, and then we set up a featured link, which never actually works. And then I think from there, we're kind of good to go. So how do you do the test now? So you can see now, if I go back to the left-hand side, this button here, Start Test, is ready for me to hit, and I'm going to hit that now. There's a tiny bit of a counter, and that's it. This is the test. Now you're live. So now you can play around with all of the settings without it actually going live on your actual page. But it gives you like this, it's like a dress rehearsal, right? So everything that happens will be simulated of what happens on your actual live stream. And now Facebook's struggling because that's it. So on an actual live stream, you'll see on the left-hand side that it will actually say live, and there's there's a timer here that shows you, how long you've been going for. Now, see, this is that link that we set up before, and when I select it, nothing happens, which is so typical of Facebook. I tested this last night and I was like, I swear it's not me. I swear it's Facebook. But here's a featured link that doesn't actually work. Now, so remember we set up those polls and things like that? Where actually are they? You have to scroll back down and then select them and go publish poll, right? And then this will take a little while, and then it will eventually appear on the actual screen. So this is what I mean by, there you go. So now this is what it looks like when you add a poll, and then users can select one or the other, right? So it's not flawless, but it's something there that works. So they can select it. You can see the results, and then you can show the results by selecting show results. So that's just one thing that you can do. So you can create a poll, and then this is what it looks like when you actually add the poll to the live stream. Okay, now remember the questions. So we wrote, how are you today? I'm going to open that card and give it a minute, and then it will show on the actual live feed eventually, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Facebook Live Producer is so glitchy and weird. It may or it may not do things, but that's how it rolls. So, okay, it worked yesterday. It took a while, but no, it's not showing. So this is Facebook Live Producer. It sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't. There it is. There, it just took a bit of a delay. So that's what it looks like when you have a question. It will appear in its own time when it's ready on your actual page. So that's what it will look like. So users can't actually do anything with it, which I'm like, why do you have this thing that doesn't actually do anything, Facebook? Why? I have so many questions. But it gives you a chance to play around. Now, on the left-hand side here, you can comment, and you can see the feed as it comes through. So that's pretty handy, but this is exactly what you'll see on a live stream, right? You'll see that you're live, you'll see the comments come through on the left-hand side. If you scroll back down, you can add any polls that you've set up. You can play any cards, well, not play cards, but you can add the questions that will appear as a card. And once you're ready to end the live stream, you would select end broadcast, end test broadcast. So this lets you know that you're still in test. And this simulates exactly as it would be if you were to be live. So now I'm going to select end. Did you end? End. There we go. And then it's ended. And that's it. So that's how you would actually go through a test, go through all of the settings for using Facebook Live Producer. Now I'm going to show you how to schedule a Facebook live stream. So if you're game enough to want to use Facebook Live Producer, go away, to schedule your live streams. The thing that they say they do in theory is that if you schedule a live stream, then it will automatically go live and push live at that time. So on the left-hand side here, we're back into Facebook Live Producer and we select schedule a live video. You'll see here that you can set the time for it. So let's just say we set the time to be, it needs to be at least 10 minutes out, whatever time that is on that page. Scheduled, add the title, scheduling, it would obviously be something more enticing and not random like this. You can add an image to it, and then you would select schedule live video. So this will be the time of the video, the date and the time, add a title so that it can actually appear, and go schedule live video. Now Facebook's doing its thing. It says that it's scheduled for 10 minutes time. I'm not going to make you wait 10 minutes, but in theory, you set up your camera, you set up your microphone, and then at the time, you don't need to push any buttons. Facebook will automatically push it live, everything live for you. So it will have the countdown timer at the time that you scheduled, and then just go live. Bit freaky, I don't know why you'd use it. Alternatively, if you wanted to push it live at that time yourself, you would just select enable manual mode. So that's how you would actually schedule it using Facebook Live Producer. So if you're game, you can give that a go. I find Facebook Live Producer really glitchy. I, to be honest, wouldn't advise you to schedule it because you could be sitting there waiting for it to go live and it just doesn't, when you can just manually hit the button yourself. So that's how you would schedule it. So that option is always available to you there on the left-hand side if you wanted to use it that way. Okay, let's go back and let's just show you how you would do it just by pushing a live stream. So we're going to go back to the live stream. And this is if you didn't want to schedule it, you just wanted to get in and go live now. So it takes you back. You want to select use camera. You want to choose your camera source. You want to choose the microphone source. You want to add a title to live stream. You want to add a description, and then you just select go live. So when you're ready, you've set up everything. If you wanted to use the polls, the questions, you would just select go live on the left-hand side here. And there would be like this 3-second counter, and then you can see the feed as it's happening, and you'll know that you're live on the left-hand side here because it will show the red Facebook Live icon and then the timer to show you how long you've actually gone live for. So there you go. So that's how you would actually go live from the page. So let's see now that we are going live to this page, what you can actually see. So now in Stream Health, you can see like there's this video bit rate and there's frame rates. I don't really know what you'd be looking for, so I'm not going to talk too much about this section, but it's there in case you know what to look for here. And there's event logs. Once again, I don't really know what to tell you because I don't really understand why this is even here because it's not even in layman's terms. But you can go check the stream health between your live stream, but no one really does that because everyone's too busy trying to deliver their actual content. So that's it. So that's how you would use Facebook Live Producer. So I showed you how to access Facebook Live Producer. It's always available from your page, or it's always available via the Facebook Live Producer link, which I showed you. I showed you how to do a test broadcast so you can get used to all of their features. I showed you how to schedule a Facebook live stream if you're game to use Facebook Live Producer to trust them to just go live at the time they're supposed to go live. And then I showed you how to go live just directly using Facebook Live Producer. So that's it. So now I'm going to end this live stream. So exactly as you saw in the test, started it, ended it. Everything happens kind of from this left-hand side panel. And that essentially wraps up today's tutorial. Once you've live streamed, they give you a couple of options. You can just select what you want to do. This will then be saved in your video section of your page. So just know that, you know, unless you delete it, it will just be there. So it'll be live on your page, which is the whole point of live streaming. Okay, so that essentially wraps up the live stream. Thanks for everyone for joining me. Hopefully you've got a better understanding of how to use Facebook Live Producer. As I said, if you really want a robust live streaming experience and something that's not as glitchy, I recommend you checking out StreamYard. I recommend you checking out BeLive, Ecamm Live. I've got links to all of those reviews that I've done of those software options. But if you're in a pickle and you need just something, you've got the ability to live stream from your desktop without software. But you know, check it out, see how it goes. Thanks everyone for joining me live. I really appreciate you guys being here. So if you found this video useful, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't before. I live stream about live streaming. I do a lot of social media tutorials. I do a lot of tech reviews and we have a lot of fun here. And you know, you've joined me here on a live stream about Facebook Live Producer. If you want to step up your game with Facebook Live, make sure you grab a copy of my Facebook Live cheat sheets. It's a super simple guide to get you up and streaming, even if you've never hit record before. I'll put the link in the description as well as somewhere on the screen so you can access it. Thanks everyone so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun today. And I will see you in the next broadcast. Bye for now.